More on YouTube, Red here, working on a motorhome, an Atwood 8535 furnace. What I'm going to show today is taking out all the gas valve and the igniter and the exhaust and all this stuff. There's a few videos out there, but everybody seems to skip over this step right here. And so I told myself, you know what, I'll go make that video. So stand by, that's the video you're going to see. This exhaust pipe out first, and the only thing you do is loosen this wing nut right here. As soon as you get that wing nut out, this whole unit just slides out. That's the exhaust pipe. Okay, I'm gonna put the wing nut back on just so I don't lose it. The next thing you gotta do is take the gas line off. And I already did that, loosened it. So take the gas line off. Okay, now we're ready to remove this plate, which is also attached to the burner and this gas valve. And this is the part where people leave out. So there's 4 screws, it appears. We're going to learn together, but there's 1 screw right here. Number 2 is right there. Number 3 is right there. And number 4 is that one right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Quarter. Socket is 1/4. Set that over there. Sorry if I'm bumping you, you're in the way. We're gonna make sure this video is a whole video though, because people keep leaving this part out. And maybe it's because they struggle with it, I don't know. But for some reason, everybody always leaves this part out of what are the screws that you take off. Because listen, I was ready to pull the whole unit. I was gonna yank this whole unit out of the RV. And then I saw a video where somebody said, oh, you just pull that valve out. I'm like, what? So then I came out here and looked at it, and I'm like, well, sure enough, maybe, just maybe, you just take these 4 screws out and this whole son slides out of there. Whole son of a gun, I'm sorry. Wouldn't that be some stuff if that's all it does? It looks pretty loose already. Okay, this is going to be the hard part, is getting those screws physically to fall. Going back in is going to be even more fun. Funner. I'm just knocking them out right now. Right. 2 on the ground. 1 more. 3 on the ground. Last one right here. That one's out. Okay. Now it appears there's 2 wires. This one goes on the back side of the valve, so you got to follow it over here. Maybe, no, maybe you just reach up underneath there. Okay, yeah, you just reach up underneath there. Reach up in there. Get up in there. And unplug that one. And then unplug this one right here. That one right there. Loop these around over here, get them out of the way. Right? I just tie it back like that, out of the way. Okay. Now this whole thing should come out now. LLB. Somehow. This is the part where everybody probably struggles, and then they're like, should have shot a video, but I never did. It looks like it comes out pretty hard. Whew. All right, I'm almost there. I'll back you up. Okay, there it is. So now you can inspect your burner and make sure your burner is good, which this one appears to be good. You can inspect your igniters, that your igniters are good. If you had to replace the igniters, this is where you would replace the igniter. That's what that red wire was. That red wire was the igniter that goes right here. So I'm replacing this valve. And the reason why is because I have exhaust, I have fumes coming when it's off, out the exhaust and in the RV. So I believe this diaphragm, this rubber diaphragm in here, I believe this rubber diaphragm in the solenoid valve, because this is the gas supply right here. And so I believe where the gas goes in, this rubber diaphragm in here is leaking by. This thing sat for 5 years. So I'm getting propane leaking through here and coming out the exhaust when it's in the off position. So today I'm gonna just replace this valve right here. And I wanted to inspect this now, and I got to inspect this. So as long as the honeycomb, as long as this whole honeycomb shape is all still there and in there, it's good. But a lot of these will be rusted and crowed out, and this whole honeycomb will be rotten and gone. So, but this one looks really good for, this is a 2005. So while I'm here, I'll add to this video. So how do you get the control board out? You just take this wing nut off right here, unplug this connector right here, unplug this wire right here, and then this whole panel, this black panel that this is, will come forward and out. And that's how you replace your control board. And then once you have your control board out, then you can remove this cover off the squirrel cage by removing that screw down there and that screw down there, being careful not to break them. And then the squirrel cage can come off, and that's where that sail sensor is. The sail sensor is right behind these two black dots right here. And so the sail sensor is this blue and white wire right here, goes into the sail sensor. So that's where you'll find your sail sensor. You reset switch, and then that is just a hose clamp holding the squirrel cage onto this cage. And you want to inspect these and make sure there's no broken fins or loose bearing. And that's where a lot of noise will come from, is something like this too. So, but mine's not giving any noise, so mine's good. And so that's with the whole burner and exhaust unit out and line disconnected. That's what you got. That's what it looks like. Okay, so it looks like there's just a couple screws here. This one right here, which is holding the two ground wires. This one this side. There. Now there's no plate holding it, and so now the valve will just spin off of this fitting right here. So we will grab a wrench to hold this still, and then we'll try and get that off. Now we just need to transfer the wires. Sometimes these have like a little locking tab in them. You got to squeeze them like right here. Okay, that went right there. So now that should be it. See you back out there. Alright, we're back with the whole assembly. Ready to shove her back in. I've never done this before. And it was really hard coming out. Man. I put these screws back in. I gotta take them back out. What is going on there? Oh, you gotta get it in the hole. Okay, so now you gotta line up the hole, I guess. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Okay, there she is. Now the next fun part is going to be trying to get those screws in back there. The 3 screws. This one without dropping them, so. Oh. I might have to go get some sticky stuff. Sometimes you got to put some, yep. I'm going to have to get some sticky stuff. Alright, this is what we're going to do here. We're just going to take a little bit of duct tape and put it just like a 1/8 of an inch beyond the socket, so this flange sits down in there. Then you can kind of put the tape around it like that. So it's just black tape. Now the black tape should hold it. There's one. That probably wasn't even the hard one yet. Oh, first try. First try with like surgeon precision. What's up? All right, last one. Bam. Sorry I bumped the camera. I'm really trying to give you a up close and personal. Take off the duct tape. Just assisted perfectly. Okay, that bottom one's done. That one's done. Got his back one. Front one. Alright, done. Alright, now hook the wires back up. So we got the long one. We gotta go back here. Alright, that's on. Get this one on. Bam. That's done. Hook the gas line up. Wire I put underneath that gas line, it's probably got to go over the gas line so it doesn't hit the exhaust. So I got to hook that up again now. Okay, that time was much easier. That's it. That's how you replace the exhaust. That's how you would replace the igniter. You would replace the gas valve. And I showed you everything else. And then just tighten up your screws, obviously, and put the cover back on. And then obviously test fire it and make sure. But yeah. Anyways, hope that helps somebody, and some good information. God bless. Till next time.